tell me about crypto. I want to know how you got involved with it,
Yeah.
how you just crushed it, because you crushed it.
I bought like a few hundred Bitcoin back when it cost, it was a 50K investment to buy, I think it was like 250 Bitcoin.
Number 2, your favorite superhero of all time.
I like the Joker. Is he a superhero?
He's a supervillain.
I love supervillains. I've embraced not caring about things as a superpower. The Joker was able to do a lot of crazy stuff because he just didn't care. It's a lot of money, but you spend $27,000 right now, and you can land yourself a full coin. And
how much is it worth in a year?
Someone just bet that it's going to be $1 million before the end of the year.
20 years from now.
20 years, it's going to break money. So, like, we got bigger problems to worry about than the price of Bitcoin.
Yeah. So, can I say, like, I don't use Crypto Jesus, Crypto Jedi, or Obi-Wan, the Scott Paul, any other things?
That's it.
You want to add?
Yeah, that's all.
Founder Wooly.
Scotty Coin.
Satoshi. Ladies and gentlemen, I've got Scott Paul here with me. This guy is one of my favorite people, especially when it comes to content on social media. As good as it gets.
I got banned, so you still follow my new account now?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, good.
Remember, I helped you fight to get that account back, which you lost again.
I know. I keep losing it. It's gone forever. Actually, the original LinkedIn is gone forever. They gave me enough warnings and they shut it down.
I don't understand how do you get kicked off of LinkedIn, dude?
It's actually the easiest one to get kicked off of.
How?
Their terms of service are really strict. Any promotion on LinkedIn is actually against terms of service.
Oh,
it seems like it seems like that's what everyone does. So any content actually made on LinkedIn could possibly have something that they made their terms so strict that they can take your account down.
Well, LinkedIn, you really screwed up.
I know. I feel like
dude,
they did.
You just lost one of your best content creators. Maybe one of the 5 people I'm like, I actually enjoy what this guy is.
But I came back though. I'm still there. I'm playing around with a new account.
You have an alias?
No, they can't. I made 5 accounts. They can't swap. They can't keep whack-a-mole. I'm like Hydra. I just keep coming back. Chop off a head with 3 more.
The thing is, speaking of aliases, this guy will come with a different getup every day, different hairstyle.
Yeah, no hair today. I didn't do a wig today.
He's like the male Lady Gaga. Like, for real. This guy's got style, Look at that.
I have characters I play. I wouldn't say they're all stylish. Some are very vagabondy. Some are very. I guess that could be the Der Elite style from our favorite Zoolander.
And this guy can make me laugh. I was actually just sharing with someone the other day that probably the hardest I've laughed in the past decade.
Was that on the plane?
That was another one.
Oh my gosh! I think I was laughing really hard on the plane.
Literally crying. No, we were at Sundance.
What happened?
There's so many moments like this for him that he has to be reminded. But who were we with? I think we were the Session Brothers.
Oh, well, that's probably why. Anytime with those guys get too out of control. What happened?
Yeah, I don't know.
Can we talk about it? Is it not safe for work?
Yeah, it's probably not safe for work.
Do you remember when I was trying to get you killed on the plane?
Yes.
I was trying to get you booted out of
this guy.
I thought you were the CIA for a second there.
Well, hey, some people will mistake me.
It was really fun.
CIA.
Yeah, we laughed. I think we laughed really hard. We haven't laughed. It's been a while since we laughed.
Yeah,
I haven't stayed in touch with the Session Brothers enough to laugh with them again.
Yeah, it's been busy, crazy times.
You've had a lot of changes. It feels like in the last 18 months since we went out to Lidditz, Pennsylvania, and jumped around.
But you guys told me it was Lititz, which I called it.
That's really good.
Do you not know the story?
No.
So I bring in one of the head honchos from Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah.
And he comes to meet me at Bam Bam's with his wife.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's so good to see you, bro. His name is Sean.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Sean, guess where I went? I went to Lititz.
Wait, even after you went, you were still convinced it was Lititz?
I thought it was Lititz.
Oh, that's great.
And his wife just loses it laughing. And he's looking at me like, are you serious? Yeah, Lititz? He goes, you mean Lettitz? And I'm like, oh gosh, these idiots. So
every time I think we did tease you a lot on that trip.
Yeah, no, you guys gave it to me good. That's good. I can take it.
That's good.
I can take it.
You can. And you can dish it.
Yeah, I can dish. I can dish as well. So I've got a bunch of questions for you. So Scott and I have a lot of similarities. Not only are we both named Scott, which is a very special name.
Yeah.
he is an entrepreneur in every sense of the word. If it's big and hopping and something, is good going on, Scott Paul is a part of it.
If it's in Utah, yes.
Yeah, if it's in
I'm
Utah.
very picky about my Utah startups.
Yeah. There's a lot of them out here.
I collect fine Utah startups.
Yeah, you do. You've had some big winners.
Yeah, they're happening. I'm going to a neighbor right after this. That's one of the big winners in Utah. They've gone for where I saw them as just 2 people starting up, and now they employ hundreds of people and growing really fast.
Gab's
blowing up. Jump. We still need Jump to go international like we were planning. So hopefully
there's so much
takes off,
there.
But it will.
Give me some others. There's a ton of them.
There's
You're the founder of Woolly.
Woolly. It's now called Roster.
Oh, it's Roster.
Yeah, Roster. Giddy, the crypto company in town. That was a project of mine. The newest one's called Stack. We can talk about that later. Or Fi.
I've heard of Stack.
Yeah. Well, there's different. There's like a real estate stack. This one's we haven't really released yet.
Okay, gotcha.
We get into that, and then Nomi Health, Project Solar. There's a lot of these. There's a few in California that I did back in the day.
Cool.
That are like Donut Media. Did you ever hear of those guys that would race cars?
Donut Media.
It's one of the bigger YouTube channels around automobiles.
No,
and they actually that was my only exit I've had. So out of the 70 investments I've made in the startups, that was the first one out of 7-8 years of just waiting. So the startup investing game is a very slow, patient game.
That's right.
It takes years before you start to see any return on investment.
No, if anyone knows that, it's myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, you talk about that.
You're about 7 years into it. So maybe you've been the next year or 2.
I said a decade, bro.
Oh, I know that's tough. And you went in a restaurant, which is a very difficult space too.
Hey, I actually think the restaurant space is easy.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, it's easier than some things, but the returns, like you gotta really have several to scale that. It's a labor of love.
It really is.
The restaurants off.
If you got a good product and you got good marketing, it's game over. And Cam's Barbecue, no one touches it. Bam Bam's Barbecue.
You know what I feel like? I feel like I've interviewed on a podcast with your partners.
Yeah,
you possible? They do one
so
too,
Cameron, and then Andrew.
Yeah, they had a podcast.
Yeah, the Nitty Gritty.
I did that 2 years ago or something.
Did you?
They were fun. We were laughing.
They do a good job.
Yeah,
I was on it too.
I wish I could find all the podcasts I've been on and just watch them because
you can find it.
I never watch. The one weird thing is I never watch myself after I do a podcast.
I'm the same way. I hate it.
Nah, it's just like I don't know. I kind of want my kids to hear it. It's just because it's like I feel like I say things that they might want to know what their dad's up to, but like I don't watch them. I don't listen to them.
You know who I wish would listen to my podcast?
Who?
Talk speeches.
Who?
My wife.
Really?
She never listens to anything, man.
Like
I'm like,
we do there. Let me just hold you right here.
No, for real. Like Mikkel, she won't even watch this, so it doesn't matter.
She will.
I mean,
you see whatever you want. It's like it should be.
You know the love languages? There's 5 love languages.
If she just listened to your podcast, that would be like
my love language is affirmation. I just want her to just say, "Honey, that was a great podcast. I watched that podcast with you and Scott. You were so handsome."
That's just all you want to be. You just want to be
you
were eye candy on that. I didn't hear anything. I just watched your face move and said, "That's my man."
But it's okay. She's like, I've already heard it all.
Can I tell you a story?
Yeah, let's get it.
My wife would never listen to any, but then she got in the startup world, and then she realized that the stuff I was saying actually was resonated. She joined the startup as a co-founder, and then all the shit I've been saying for so many years actually started to make sense, and it helped her. So I actually think I have. I think it was meaningful for me too when she started following my own LinkedIn content. She doesn't look at anything on Instagram or LinkedIn ever. She doesn't do social. She doesn't do podcasts. And last year she started like watching some of it. I'm like, she actually knows what I'm up to. And it's and then I had to start thinking twice too. I'm like, better not say all the things that I normally say. She's finally watched it.
Right. Honey,
so yeah, if she gets into the startup world and has some business, it might start to resonate, some of the wisdom you might be dropping on these mics.
That's really cool, man.
Yeah.
By the way, your wife is a sweetheart. And she really is. How you pulled her off, we do not know. She's a 10 and you're a 4.5. Maybe a 5 on good days, depending on your outfit and the hair on your head.
That's true. I can get up to 8 if I really work it.
No.
Maybe I've got some wigs. I got some wigs that are 8, but then I take it down a notch with my just facial features.
How many wigs do you have?
I have 21.
21?
Yeah, it's about $30,000 of wigs. These are real hair.
Are you?
Yeah. Yeah, you collect your shoes. I collect my wigs. And I'm going to get them all backlit and on like, those head shaped things, kind of like that
Ladies and
Schitt's
gentlemen,
Creek
he
girl.
is not kidding.
No, I mean a lot of it's a friend that she started a company, and so I was like supporting it, and
Oh,
so
really?
so I got them. I spent maybe $15K for 30,000, so it's like I got them half off. I love them.
That's amazing.
And you can't believe, I thought at first it was just a joke. I was just doing it as a joke. Then it's like the amount of DMs I get and people tagging me on any content about dudes wearing wigs or women who need wigs. And they're like, Scott's got a bunch. Like they actually, I have a lot of people reaching out to find out where I get all these wigs. And so I think I've been helping, put hair on women who need it because I'm like an influencer for wigs of all
So
the things.
all
Not,
you
not
wig
barbecues, not anything else, is wigs.
All you wig businesses, hit me up and I will get you aligned with the wig master right
Yeah,
here.
yeah, they look good too. It's been fun. I get to know some really fun people doing. There's actually technology in the wig space, new ways of making it look real and better and fluffy and yeah, there's a lot of tech in it. So I'm interested in it.
Wow.
I don't want to ever put like fake hair. I'm bald as they get, right? I'm very bald, so I don't ever want to do anything with this like hair because that's a blank canvas. If I ever change it, then I have like if I ever put fake hair on, then all my wigs kind of don't fit. So I'm always going to keep my head just as a canvas for the many things. And we might get into the world where it's not even wigs of hair, but it might be like crazy AI art that you just plug onto your head. And so I want to always keep this as a receiver for whatever art I want to put on my head.
Well, you do know that in the 1800s, late or 1700s, or even, I mean,
They're all doing wigs.
They were doing like, it was all
big
about
hair.
Women called volume. Like these dudes had hair that was like.
Interesting. We might get back there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Like, and many of them
I might help us get there. Do you have any ideas?
Let's go, dude. I mean, anything.
You don't need to do nothing to your hair. You've been blessed with a full head of hair.
Yeah,
but the Bible doesn't curse you like it does me.
I can tell you one thing right now. There is a plague amongst young men right now. Have you seen the hair that's going on these kids?
What are they doing? Are they shaving it?
It is the grossest hair in the history of mankind.
Wait, what?
Like we're talking
just becoming mock?
70s, 80s.
Looks like my dog. My
dudes
big old. It's just like because I do have a nice big old. What is it called? A Labradoodle or something. And it's just got the furriest.
Yeah, it's gonna look better than It's gonna look better than my son's.
Really?
Dude,
okay.
Is
he combing it or what's he doing?
It's a pandemic.
Okay.
These kids' hair, like they're gonna look back.
Sounds like a first world pandemic.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's like it's like the end of the world because of the hair.
It's the grossest hair ever.
Okay, I got to see this. Like, I'm like, I have 3 girls, so I don't have. They haven't gone yet to gross hair, but maybe it's something the dudes are doing.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing, but I can tell you this much: that the girls that are their age think it's hot.
Oh, really?
Like my little girl's like, oh, I love that hair, and it looks like a dead beaver on the top of a guy's head. I'm like, how?
I'm actually gonna look for one of these dead beaver wigs then.
Yeah, well,
that might actually be what I need to get into. Yeah, I gotta look into this.
It's in.
Send me some photos after this. I gotta see what's in.
I do want to give you a compliment though. You have a good head.
I have a good bald head.
Yeah, you
My wife said that because it's kind of just like not shaped. It doesn't. It's not alien shaped. Some people have. Some people have to change their. Some people do not like being bald because they don't like their head shape, but I don't mind it.
It looks good.
Yeah,
you've been blessed. You've been blessed.
Well, good because I lost my hair when I was 18, so I had to live with.
You started losing hair at 18.
I was bald at 18. I went on my LDS mission bald. Yeah, so I have 42. I have most of my life. I have not had hair. I had hair like I mean, you gotta understand though. In high school, I had the waviest, craziest hair that it wasn't gonna last because it was just too good and voluminous. I could put a hat on. And the waves would come out like this, basically just sticking straight up like I had electricity running through my veins, and then that stuff fell out.
I'm sorry, man. You look great,
but I'll get it back someday. I'll get it back someday when
you will.
When I die.
You get it back every day. You put one of those $15,000 wigs on.
That's true. No, $15,000 wig. That's crazy. 1,500.
Oh, sorry, 15,000.
15,000. I wonder what that would be like. That'd be like your shoes over there, your cereal, your rare cereals. I wonder if we have rare wigs I could find.
Oh, I guarantee.
With like rhinoceros nostril hair. What if it's made out of rhinoceros nostril hair? Weaves perfectly. That's badass. We'll look for one of those.
Let's start a wig company.
I mean,
unicorn hair.
Just like you just say whatever you want.
Yeah.
People don't know if unicorns are real.
You never know,
or
man.
sloths.
You never know.
We don't really know if sloths exist or not.
The truth be told, I feel like the toughest dudes I've ever seen, they don't have hair on their head. They're just they just look
I
tough.
I can agree with that.
For real. Like
Yeah, I
they
can agree
look
with that.
mean, man. You don't want to mess with a bald dude.
Yeah, I need to work on like being tough on the rest of my body. Then
Yeah, you
I'll
gotta
get a little. I'll do a few more lifts, and I'll match the bald look to do the what's the guy in that Fast and Furious? Everyone.
Vin Diesel.
Yeah, Diesel. Yeah, he's a tough kid.
Vin Diesel.
He's a tough kid.
He's a beast. So I want to dive into what I originally started learning about Scott Paul.
Okay.
How I got introduced to you. And you gave me a lot of advice. Mostly good, which is not normal, but crypto.
Wait, not normal for people to give good advice, or for
Around
me
crypto.
or for me to give good advice.
It's not normal for people to give good advice around crypto.
Oh, that's it depends. Yeah, like let's
mean-
hear what I gave. Let's hear what I said.
Well, I'm just saying, like, you were real and open. Anyway.
Yeah. I'll shoot straight on the crypto.
Yeah, you do. And when I first like hung out with you, crypto was on its way, and I remember you saying to me, "Get ready." Like
was that pre one of the launches?
Yeah.
Oh,
It was
interesting.
pre the massive,
the massive up and down.
Yeah. But tell me about crypto and your experience with crypto. How you got? So I want to know how you got involved with it.
Yeah.
How you just crushed it, because you crushed it, and then where it's going. I mean, what's next? How did you get introduced to it?
It's really simple. Like there shouldn't be any complicated answers to how you crush it with crypto, because the way that I crushed it was buying it really low when my friend told me to, and I trust him. He's a very smart individual, very accomplished, and like could explain to me exactly what it was. And after he told me for 4 hours in LA, 2015, what it was, Bitcoin specifically, I said, like, why not? I just sold a company to Disney, so I had some cash. And I said, I'd be an idiot not to take a little chance on this thing that that he speaks so highly of, and I've heard of it already. But the hardest part is not investing in crypto. The hardest part is holding crypto.
Hodl.
Yeah.
I learned that from you.
Yeah, you can't. People just want to sell at the first doubling or something, because it seems like I just doubled my money. Why not? That's crazy. And he told me, when he told me about crypto, he told me, you'll want to sell it, but if you can do this, try to like tattoo the address on your, the key somewhere on your body, and like never sell it. Like maybe your posterity, or try to live forever, and then one day, or when they resurrect you, like you can go look in the blockchain and see if your money's still there. Like his idea of hodl was hodl through death. Like, do not sell it ever. And that just went into my head so deeply that it allowed me to resist selling this initial investment into. I bought like a few hundred Bitcoin back when it cost. I mean, it was a $50K investment to buy. I think it was like 250 Bitcoin, and I just like watched it. And I said never. He said never sell. And so the hard part wasn't buying it. The hard part was, because I mean, 50K was like, that was. There's other investments you make that are that much all day long,
for sure,
right? But this one was so odd at the time, and I just didn't. I just kept watching it climb and climb. And then I bought this Ethereum thing too that was brand new. And I just used the same principle. I'm never selling these things. And the reason you don't sell them is when you learn about the blockchain and why, like how it's mathematically sound and encrypted, and it could replace all the money we know on Earth at some point, because it's better store of value than anything the governments have made. It's a better, it's transparent. It's hard to be nefarious on it as the more we use it, because everything's recorded and you can watch where it travels. Very, very, very. It's not like cash that can be go around. And so once I started learning about it, I realized like I believe in the long term 20, 30, 60, 100-year future of this technology.
For sure.
And all you have to do to bet on it, it can be any person in the world can buy a little bit or a lot. And so it's like an investment that is open. Like when I make angel investments, only a few people can do that. You have to be an accredited investor. You have to have certain net worth. And so it's prohibited to make angel investments by most people, which is stupid, because angel investments are one of the best asset classes to, like, if you keep making a lot of them, you can get really decent returns.
Yeah.
Crypto doesn't have any restraints on who can invest.
Anyone.
Good and bad. Some people get way too crazy in it, and they probably shouldn't. They should probably be paying down some debt, or buying food for their families. But it is open for everyone to speculate on, and you're speculating on a technology. Yes, it's a price that you can buy and sell and trade and get lost in, but it's also a technology that you can slowly invest in every single week, and just a little bit here and there, and be betting on the future of money. And so that's really what I advise people do, is to do dollar cost average into both Bitcoin and Ethereum a little bit every week or month.
Oh, that's great.
Something that doesn't hurt but adds up over time.
It's awesome. So the recent events with the Silicon Valley Bank and some of the other banks, how do you think that's going to impact all this?
It's impacting every second. I'm watching it right now. I'm in a few channels on Signal, and just today they're saying there's more banks pulling off they call on ramps and off ramps. So banks right now, there was like Signature and Silver Lake. There's a few that were like supporting crypto, and that's how most people could take their bank account, hook it up to an app like Coinbase, and put their U.S. dollars into crypto, and those are drying up. They're shutting down the access, their way to turn your U.S. dollars into crypto, which is just like insane that our government is trying to restrict. It's like the universities trying to shut down AI as a learning tool. It's like, you guys do not want to be on the wrong side of history on this one. As a nation, we should be spearheading crypto, spearheading AI,
absolutely,
spearheading innovation. And what we're choosing to do as a nation right now is to let other foreign nation states win on this front. And so
why are they doing this? I'd love to hear your idea. If you're
they're old and scared. It's the only way. It's all. If you look at all the talking heads, it's very, very old people thinking old ways, and they have a limited. You'd think they'd want to like get on the right side for their posterity, but I think it's just old dog, new tricks. You just can't teach them. It's a real thing. The power, they feel like loss of a federal control in a government when the money is not owned by them. They can't print it. So it's just really obvious things. It's not even conspiracy thinking. It's just like,
it is what it is.
If you are a government and you print the money and that's how you control your population and tax them and everything else, you don't want to release that control to the people. That's not a great idea. So both Democrats and Republicans seem to be against it, because it's like they benefit from the control of our monetary supply and our monies. Yeah, we can print it at will.
It's fascinating stuff. I love the world of crypto. I'm not so much a fan of NFTs. However, I do understand the power of it. I lost a lot of money.
This is an NFT.
Oh, is that for Artifact? No,
I don't know who gave it.
Croc
to me.
Artifact.
It was some NFT I gave a bunch of Ethereum to one friend who got into all these shoes early on, and so I have at least 12 pairs of shoes that got forged from the digital world and then sent to my house. Some are Nike, some from Artifact, which is a Nike company. This one, some of this is Italian one. I got 2 new pairs last night. I saw him at an event, so I just keep getting shoes, and that's why I said I need to display them somewhere, because. But I ended up just wearing them, and I'm totally wrecking these.
You need a display, man. I just gave you a good idea. Let's go.
One of them like a $12,000 pair of shoes, and I'm like, and I just put them on. I just wear them. Of course you did. Yeah, like pizza. I'm like, I'm gonna enjoy these things.
Of course you did. Of course you did. So 3 other questions. With crypto, do you play around with altcoins much? And if so, give me your 3 favorites.
Well, I mostly just Giddy. So Giddy's an altcoin.
You need to tell us about Giddy. That's another question.
Yeah,
actually, tell us about Giddy right now. I want to hear about
Giddy. Well, Giddy was a company that came out of our lack of there being a lack of ease to doing what's called DeFi, decentralized finance. So you can buy Bitcoin and just hold it forever. But then this technology came out, mostly on the Ethereum network, that allowed people to earn interest, if you will, like do stuff with the crypto that allowed you to basically financing and banking. You could get loaned, you could borrow, you could invest it in some ways, and this was all because Ethereum is basically like a computer. Ethereum is a computer that's run on the blockchain. It has the smart contract functionality that allows it to be programmable, and so people started programming decentralized banks or offerings that banks have, like lending and pulling your money together and adding liquidity to a project. And this is called DeFi, and Giddy was born to help make DeFi easy. We could do it right here. I could transfer. Do you have Giddy on your phone?
Yeah.
I mean, we should probably just at some point, what I'm talking about, show how fast. Oh, it's being used to film.
Yep.
I mean, I can go into the Giddy right now within probably 20 seconds, I could complete a transaction to you. Totally decentralized on blockchain. It would be on the Polygon network and very low fees. And I could transfer any amount of money that I have. No waiting, no clearing, no calling up a bank asking permission. I could put a large sum of money. And we could even do it right now and like trust that you would send it back my way. But I would send you my entire balance and go, see, look at that. And then you send it back. And that could happen. No one's going to stop us.
That's
it's
awesome.
just because it's just math. And so that's the promise of this new thing, is that no one's in between you and your money. Right now, if you want to self-custodian your money, which means like not give it to a bank or an investment house, you basically have to get cash and put it under your mattress or in a safe, right? That's called self-custodianship. Anything else you do with money, you're basically giving it to an intermediary. You give it to a bank, you give it to life insurance policy, anything. That's all. They're now the custodian. And that's what happened with FTX. Everyone gave them their money. Gemini, any of these people, they gave these brokers their money and said, take care of it. They took it off chain. Basically, they took it. It's not their keys. They're no longer protected with their keys and password. They now like gave it to another entity. And that's where we have all, and that's what the banks are having. That's what happened with all the banks too. So Giddy allows you to have custodianship over your money through your own password and your encryption that you hold the keys to. The crazy part about that is we are going to a world where you're not just going to put money under a mattress or gold or silver. You're not going to put that in your safe at your house, your guns and stuff. You're going to have digital assets. There isn't a world where we're going to a world where there's digital assets. It's inescapable.
Yep.
Unless some crazy EMP goes off and we go back to the dark ages, the equivalent of just no computer technology. So if we're in a world of digital assets, that means money, photos, pictures, death certificates, birth certificates, marriage licenses, your driving license, your all your home ownership, your everything would be basically put into some tokenization, an NFT of sorts, and that would be stored in a digital safe that you own. And Giddy is that wallet. Giddy is that safe. And they're one of many. There's others, but that's where we're going to. And people will want to store their digital goods and not park them into a bank. There's no reason to.
Someone gave me the advice yesterday that I need to transfer all my crypto onto one of those devices.
Hard drive things.
Hard drives. What are your thoughts on that?
It's not a horrible idea. I did that though, and I lost the thing. And so it's like, learn quickly that my personality isn't great for using a hardware wallet. I put like 4 or 5 Ethereum on it to just see if it worked. And I wrote this long password down. I put it in a drawer. I remember where I was. I never saw that thing again. So that's probably right now. That's like $1,800 times 4 or whatever. It's enough money. It's like, I wish I had that, and it's gone. So I'm like, I'm just going to trust soft wallets, or these internet wallets that are writing to the blockchain. It's dangerous, but you need to know your ways to do it. It's not dangerous if you follow protocol. And Giddy is a software wallet. It's a wallet. It's an app that has can be used on the phone or other places, and it's like that's a wallet. But the hardware one's fine too. If you think you can remember or lock up that phrase and don't lose the hard drive, put it in a safe deposit box, put it somewhere in a Fort Knox safe in your house, and that's a fine way to go. I don't like it though. Just
because of your situation.
My situation, hardware seems
that's tough.
It's like I've lost most of my videos and photos on hardware, not transferring. Like I can't think how much I have on old VHS and stuff. I probably won't ever transfer to a digital format, and so I just don't trust like Silicon and other things storing my money. I would much rather trust the multiple redundant servers and the networks that Ethereum is that has nodes everywhere, keeping the ledger alive. I'll trust that.
Got you. Okay, next question.
Yeah.
If I handed you $1 million right now, and you have to put it all into crypto by the end of the day, where are you directing those funds? Where are they going?
I'd probably go right into if I like. So you like that's a good question. The money I'm assuming is on chain.
Yes.
So I don't have to wait for a bank or something. So
you got $1 million.
It's ready once it's on blockchain. Even if it's in a different network, like if it's like Phantom or Solana, I can swap sell. I can do all that stuff so quick because it's never
on the
closed.
blockchain. Here's
So
$1 million bucks.
yeah, I would.
Where would you put it?
I would put me personally, and this is just because I believe in the Giddy project because I'm very involved in it. I would probably go a third Ethereum, a third Bitcoin, maybe actually, yeah, maybe a fourth Giddy and then a fourth stable coins, yeah, USDC or something, and then Ethereum and Bitcoin.
Interesting.
And just kind of like I wouldn't even hesitate with $1 million. I would do that so quick. I use those are numbers that are familiar for me to do in a day. I can move that much and not think twice.
But that's where you put it. So fourth into Giddy, fourth into stables, Ethereum, and Bitcoin, all four.
Yeah, and I think everyone should try to get one full Bitcoin. I want an app. An app should come out on the App Store, for everyone to accumulate their first and full Bitcoin. Could you imagine that? All it does, there's only 19 million.
But how many of them are lost? Isn't it like?
I think about 3 million are lost, maybe
So,
or more.
like
They can estimate. There's a lot are frozen, so there's not that many, and there's only about 1 million left to be mined over the next 100 years. So it seems like something like as historic as the Bitcoin everyone should have some ownership goal of getting to one full coin. And right now is the best time to do it. You can go spend, it's a lot of money, but you can spend $27,000 right now and you can land yourself a full coin. And
how much is it worth in a year?
What's that? Well, someone just bet that it's going to be $1 million before the end of the year. Balaji, yeah, very famous crypto guy from California that works at Coinbase.
How much is it worth in 5 years? This is Scott,
I think 5 years is actually $1 million. So I think right now, I think it's going to probably, we're going to see maybe this year get bouncing back to like the 60. It could go back down to 10. Yeah. We don't really know.
Still
but the 5 year is approaching probably $1 million.
20 years from now.
20 years, it's going to break money. So like we got bigger problems to worry about than the price of Bitcoin.
Yeah.
We're going to, if as Bitcoin goes up, it's going to redistribute power, and it means things are going really bad in the world of, centrally printed currencies. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally.
If we just keep making money, and so people are trying to keep buying the Bitcoin because the dollar is hyperinflating or the euro.
Right.
We don't want Bitcoin to go to $1 million. I do, but it's like, okay, so now I'm uber wealthy in Bitcoin, but like, what does that mean for the stabilization of like, what does that mean for the class,
the economy
situation? And like, is that like, I'm going to invest all that in guns and camera equipment and fencing, electric fencing for the have-nots?
Scary to think about.
Yeah. Right? So I'm like, I don't really want it to go to $1 million because that's going to, I like the stability of our nation even right now compared to what it could be. And we're going to keep destabilizing if we can't figure this out.
Interesting.
And Bitcoin is not the answer. Bitcoin is, people keep running to it because it's probably going to be one of the more stable things as we don't have control of the other things.
I agree. I think the proof is in the pudding. You're seeing it right now with what's going on with banks.
Yeah.
It's scary, man.
Yeah.
Do we know how many Bitcoin or what kind of cryptocurrency the government owns?
They have? We know the CIA has hijacked a bunch or got some in some of their. Or FBI, I can't remember, but yeah, there's like, do you remember the whole Silk Road thing? They seized a lot of Bitcoin, so we think that they have a lot, or they should have a lot. It would be in the national interest to have governments buying up as much Bitcoin as they can.
For sure,
it's not that much money for governments right now to be holding and staking a ton of it. It's not the best use case for Bitcoin for us. We don't want governments just buying it all up, but it does help the. Does help the price of Bitcoin, but yeah, we don't know how much they have. We know these wallets. We're watching them, so some have been identified as like owned by a federal government. Some have been traced to a big whale, you would call them. And so we do know there's a lot. There's this company called Chainalysis that's watching all of the wallets, so pretty much where all the money's at, and the government wants to watch this stuff too for taxes.
Of course,
so,
they should. They absolutely should.
Yeah.
So Scott, we're getting close to rounding this up.
Man, this is definitely a Bitcoin focused thing.
Yeah,
but that's good. I mean, that's
it's
probably what some people want to know about because it's kind of like the crypto winter right now, and so it's the next wave. What I think is interesting is this: when I found out about it in 2015, it was after a big thing called Mt. Gox where crypto got kind of hacked. It was an FTX of its time. It was like 2013, I believe, or something. And so there was this went up to 1,200 or something that went back down to like 180 and 220.
Jeez.
And that's when I started getting into it. And so there's always these troughs and valleys and peaks. And right now is probably the absolute best time in the last 5-6 years
I agree.
to start finding out about it, learning about it. The amount of technology that's been built on top of blockchain right now and all the different chain stuff it is finally being adopted by brands. It's finally being adopted by the biggest companies in the world. It's
happening.
You can put on your taxes simply now. So this is the time. If you have, it's never too late. Like on these things, it's never too late to start dollar cost averaging. So so not what I'm trying to say is even the middle crypto winter, it's a good subject to talk on
for sure.
And it's not as popular as it was a little while ago. One of the biggest things I share is I give crypto out to every day, hundreds of dollars of just Giddy or USDC, just because I want to show people how fast it works. And there are teenagers and there are people who go, my dad says it's a scam. And that, when I hear that, I'm just like, oh.
Your dad says this?
No, yeah, this is what people say. My mom, isn't crypto a scam? This will be the first thing they come up with. And they'll say, like, isn't it a scam? And like, yeah, there's some definite scam tokens and projects and dog coins and stuff. It feels like a scam. But to unilaterally just call the whole industry of what's the next internet a scam will set them back and for years in their potential like adaptability and adoptability of this stuff. And so that's one of the things I really try to like encourage is like learn about it.
Yeah, educate.
Find a way to get educated about it. If you think it's a scam, you're only a little bit right. Like there is a major piece of technology that's been created and that was demonstrated in the white paper that Satoshi made and how Bitcoin works mathematically. And that technology that built on blockchain is changing how we compute, how we store, how we archive our world, and how we're going to do trustless transactions. So I just say, do not. When anyone says like a scam, I'm like, please, I don't argue with them. I go, just please don't think that. Just please, if you can, go learn about it because I don't want you to miss this for your own sake. Yeah.
So a couple questions to close this out. I'm going to get into some whack questions in a second. But,
nice.
As an entrepreneur, you are someone that takes a close look at a lot of businesses.
Yeah, every day. It's Convoy Venture, so I have a venture fund. I have to look at pitch decks every day.
So with a lot of up and coming entrepreneurs watching this, what 3 pieces of advice would you give to a young entrepreneur looking to build something that would eventually intrigue a Scott Paul or other investors to want to play ball or invest in them?
Yeah, right now and this is only relevant in the last 3 months since the Chat GPT model has arrived in public use and consumption. My latest company, we bought Chat GPT 4 for everyone. It's like $28 a month or something. And we have assignments that you have to be learning with it every day.
It's awesome.
Like, of course you can not do it, but it's like we're trying to profile the employees and the partners and team that will understand that they have a god at their fingertips for the first time ever. A combination of like 1 million minds essentially at light speed, discussion. It can do things, and that's the newest Model 4. You're just like, this is insane. It's coding for us. It is doing illustrations, full illustrations. We're having it make website animations that we can't figure out the math for on our own quickly, and it's doing it for us. So this newest model is so powerful, and I'm gonna eat my own dog food here. I'm telling my own kids, it's like, girls, 1 hour a day, just sit on there and talk to it. Ask it to do things, learn from it. Ask it at what curriculum. We're moving to Japan for a few months this Saturday, and I've had ChatGPT make their curriculum, how they're going to kind of learn and stuff.
Wow.
And it's teaching me how to code. I'm learning how to do some stuff that I never could figure out with like classes I've taken, and now it's lining it up for me and telling me where to go.
That's cool.
So that was what I would tell you, an entrepreneur, is go mess around with that and ask your questions. Like, before you go, find a mentor, a real human mentor, but don't neglect the best mentor that has come on the market since any of us have been alive. And
Good
that,
advice.
that's my advice right now. And that could change really quickly. I don't know what's next coming out, but that's my advice for today. Right now, snapshot of where we're at.
Interesting. That's really, really cool. Well, good. All right. Now for the whack questions
Okay.
as we close this out.
Yeah.
Number one, what is your favorite genre of music?
I'm liking the moment genre. Okay.
You can name a couple if you'd like, but it's always, you can tell a lot about a person.
I mean, I'm a 90s kid. I grew up in the
Some of
90s.
the best music.
And so it's just like whatever was on VH1 or MTV in the 90s, I was recording with. I'd pop in my VHS and push record and record VH1 stuff and listen to it again and again. And so like anything that come out there is nostalgic for me. So it's like
Anything 90s.
Yeah,
Like
the hip hop to the alternative stuff, the Pearl Jam stuff, the Chili Peppers. And I grew up in California, so it's like there's a lot of like bands that would come out of areas that I lived, and so I just got
good.
into that stuff.
I'm down. I respect that.
Yeah, so just but it's like I'm pretty like right now. My teenage girls are definitely introducing me to the music I like now. And I can't believe what they're listening to. My parents would never let me listen to that.
Isn't it
Young
crazy?
Gravy.
It's crazy.
Whatever.
Stuff
Like just like I
you're
can't. I'm not going to stop you. I won't get an argument about this one. You can listen to what you want.
That's great. Okay, number two, your favorite superhero of all time. And if you have a why connected to it, I want to hear why.
I like the Joker. Is he a superhero?
He's a supervillain.
I love supervillains.
Supervillain. He's one of the best.
I mean, I like obviously the Dark Knight Joker. That guy don't get
so good.
And his character is just like his character is. I think we should learn from how to not. I've embraced not caring about things as a superpower. Just not caring what people think, and if in the second you are not affected by your surroundings, and you can just actually do exactly what you would do with someone there or not there, then you start unlocking new ventures and new quests. And so the Joker was able to do a lot of crazy stuff because he just didn't care. Fictional, but it was fun to watch.
We just had this conversation over dinner with some friends the other night, but not caring is a superpower. And what's crazy is, during teenage years, 20s, 30, even I feel like some people start figuring it out in their 30s, but I just entered the 40s realm. Yeah. And I really am starting to not care.
That's good.
But I cared about so many stupid things.
We care about a lot of dumb things.
And
we're very attached to dumb stuff.
Yeah. And I tell my kids, the faster that you realize that it doesn't matter what other people think, and you just be you,
that's the
that's
hardest
a
thing.
superpower.
Kids need to figure that one out. It's really hard,
especially this day and age.
And it's almost important that they have some care. There's some reasons as a society that we're supposed to care,
of course.
And the anti-caring or not caring is not a non-empathetic.
Yeah,
it's just like, do not let someone's thoughts, don't let someone's projections onto you like ruin your day at all. And it's so hard because you got social media, all these things, like you just feel it all day long. But it doesn't bother them. Usually when someone makes a negative comment on social media to me or something, it's like I instantly just like, oh man, that person's going through something. Like this is just a mere projection of whatever they're at, wherever they're at. And
for sure.
And if I ever go down the rabbit hole of arguing with them, it never ends well. It's just like, I'm such an idiot. Why did I do that? I cared too much.
That's right. Well, and the final question is, what is your favorite cereal? You gave me a slew of favorite cereals. I mean, you're not much of a cereal guy.
I'm not a cereal guy. I never have been, but I definitely have like some stuff from the 90s and 80s.
Pops.
Yeah, Pops just does it for me. I don't know why. That like they're glossy, sugary coating, and I don't know what's going on here.
They're just.
Do you remember though, growing up, that every box had stuff inside?
Yeah, like the little toys and
stuff. You always get toys. I got watches one time and stuff. Like, what are they doing?
They're really screwing kids.
They got rid of it. Kids don't even know what it's like to take out the cereal box and look for the baseball card before anyone else gets it.
It's a different world.
It's a different world. Where do they get their toys these days?
Yeah, for real.
Where do they get their Easter eggs?
Yeah,
Cracker Jacks?
On YouTube,
they still do that?
YouTube or Fortnite, maybe.
I guess that's it.
Anyway, Scott Paul, thanks for being on with us. You shed some light on some important matters and things to consider with crypto. You are the man. Where can people follow you?
So on Twitter, Scotty Coin. On YouTube, Scatoshi.com. And LinkedIn, just Scott Paul. And those are my three main content. Like public content.
Yes. So
and they're all different. Different characters on each one.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Go follow him. And he's officially the first person to start eating his box of cereal on camera. So, in closing, Scott eating cereal.
It hits. That just hits, right?
Sayonara.
See you guys.
We'll see you.
Oh, man.